Well, it's good to see everybody. Good to be back. There. Trying to figure this thing out. Technology, your best friend or your worst enemy. Today, worst enemy. For several years, while I was at Buxton Christian Church, we would take a group of men down the mighty Delaware River, canoeing and camping. We would start at Port Jervis, and we'd spend about 52 miles on the river down to the water gap. That was always our goal, to get to the water gap. First night we'd camp on an island. Second night we'd camp on the Jersey side. And then the third day we hopefully arrive in the water gap. Most of the course, if you've ever been on the Delaware, is very smooth. A couple of places can be a challenge, where you see, all of a sudden you see this water starting to gather, and a rapid comes up, and if you're not careful, despite your best effort, the canoe is going to go over that path, and you quickly feel out of control. And if you're very unfortunate, you get hung up there. And when we went, it was in October. Not fun being in the Delaware River in October. It's pretty cold. And so, but if you find yourself in a torrent, you can quickly get out of control, right? Life's kind of like that, isn't it? See, everything goes to be smooth sailing, and then all of a sudden, bam, something happens, and it spins out of control, turns your life upside down. Or we try to take things into our own hands, the worse it seems to get. Also happens in our life of faith. God leads us down certain paths, and when we neglect or resist His direction, the wheels can come off very quickly. Well, we are talking about the 7 churches that Jesus wrote letters to in the book of Revelation. And those 7 churches, remember, were in Asia Minor, which is present-day Turkey. They were in that area. And so we're down to the original Philadelphia Christian Church. And they were in the habit of going with God's flow. Not struggling against it, not trying to resist it, but going with it. Now the city itself was founded in 140 BC by King Attalus Philadelphus. Because he was named that, he was from Pergamus. He was called Philadelphus because of his devotion to his brother. And so became known as the city of brotherly love, right? It's like across the river in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It had name changes in history. In AD 17, an earthquake destroyed the city. And the emperor, Caesar, gave them money to rebuild the town. And so they renamed the town New Caesarea, the new town of Caesar. During the reign of Flavius Vespasian, the name changed to his first name, Flavia, but neither name lasted. But the original name, Philadelphia, will come into play as we look at the letter. It was along a trade route, and we've been talking about that. And different of these cities were along trade routes, and kind of like a truck stop, right? Worse than a truck stop. A lot of influence came in and passed by, and a lot of, quite frankly, sin. It was established as a missionary city, but not in the way you would think. It was targeted to bring in the Greek culture and Greek language into the area through Philadelphia. It was a town of fear. Many people had fled Philadelphia because of the earthquakes that they had. They would honor their sons by writing their names on the temple pillars, on the very house of their gods. Keep that in mind. The emperor worship, idolatry, very popular. There was a strong Jewish presence there. And it still exists today. Philadelphia still exists, but under a different name. Elishabad, the city of God. That's what it's called today. And so you can, as you see, the original Philadelphia Christian Church had pretty astounding surroundings in which to exist, in which to minister. And so they had to make a choice. Would they take advantage of the situation or ignore the situation? Would they take advantage of the culture and permeate the culture with the gospel? Or would they ignore the culture and be kind of separatist? Well, unlike all the other churches that Jesus wrote to, he had nothing but praise for Philadelphia. The strength they had was what they found in God. Totally. So here's the deal. If you want to make an impact for Christ, if you feel stressed out or frustrated or out of time or out of resources, or your life is spinning out of control, listen to Jesus' message to the church in Philadelphia in Revelation chapter 3, beginning with verse 7. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, he who is holy, who is true, who hath the key of David, who opens and no one will shut, who shuts and no one will open, says this, I know your deeds. Behold, I have put before you an open door which no one can shut, because you have a little power, and have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Behold, I will cause those of the synagogue of Satan, who say that they are Jews and are not, but lie. I will make them come and bow down at your feet, and make them know that I have loved you. Because you have kept the word of my perseverance, I also will keep you from the hour of testing, that hour which is about to come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. I am coming quickly. Hold fast what you have, so that no one will take your crown. He who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God, and he will not go out from it anymore. And I will write on him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, the new Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God, and my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Let's pray. Father, we thank you for these lessons that you're giving us in these 7 letters that your Son gave to these churches. We pray that you'd help us understand that this letter to Philadelphia, that we would find encouraging to stand strong and stay on the straight and narrow path that you have us on that leads to life. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So the church was commended for making the most of their opportunity. Now, notice the first thing that Jesus presents himself is really the Lord of the opportunities. He holds the key of David. What is the key of David? We find it in Isaiah chapter 22, verse 22, where Eliakim is told to hold, that he held the key of King Hezekiah. Now, what does that mean? He controlled who came into the presence of the king. It's kind of like the United States President and Chief of Staff, right? He controls who talks to the president. And that's what the keys do. And so that's the way it is in the eternal kingdom. It is Jesus who gives access to the Father, not the Apostle Peter, as Roman Catholicism teaches. One of my favorite songs is Your First Morning in Heaven. You ever hear that song? Oh, it's a great, great morning, your first day in heaven, when you roll down the golden ladder. Do you remember that? And it says, St. Peter says, hello there, where have you been? We got your mention ready, so come right in. Why don't we St. Peter? He doesn't let us in. It's Jesus. Jesus lets us into the presence of God. He is the holy and true one that has, and so the doors that he opens are right. And he provided Philadelphia with a lot of open doors of opportunity in that trade area where these temples were, where the earthquakes happened, natural catastrophe. A lot of opportunity for ministry. Now, that's a common theme throughout the New Testament. You can go through the book of Acts and read about opportunity, the doors of opportunity, in Corinthian letter, Colossians. But if you do a study on that, I want you to note how many times doors of opportunity come with a struggle. Paul says, prison, but a great opportunity has arrived for it. The door of opportunity is open for us. And so it always comes with a struggle. Just because something's easy isn't necessarily an opportunity from God. Sometimes it takes an effort. And so he talks about these great opportunities, and that's interesting in light of his assessment of them. You have little strength, little influence. They never featured in a brotherhood publication. They weren't high-powered. They were probably small in number, much like us. Probably hassled by their other religions in the area. And so what made them effective in Jesus' sight? I believe they knew it. They knew they were insignificant. They knew they had little strength. Probably felt inadequate. But they also knew this, that God was at work among them. He was their strength. So let me ask you, what do you do with the opportunities that Jesus placed before you? And may I just take a little side street here for a little bit and tell you, if you do not have a relationship with the Lord, I mean, if you do not have a real, vibrant, loving relationship with the Lord, He is not going to give you opportunities. Because He's more concerned about your relationship with Him than your ministry to Him. Once He has the relationship, He'll give you opportunity to serve in His kingdom. But what do when you do? You have that relationship, God opens up a door of opportunity, and you talk to Jesus, about Jesus to your friends. How about a Bible study in your neighborhood? Maybe host one in your house. Or serve in a position in our church program. Or shepherd God's people, call on absentees, call on those who are sick, call on those who are in the hospital or whatever. But maybe you say, well, I feel inadequate. I don't have much strength, I don't have much time, I don't have much money. And I certainly don't have the knowledge to do that. Have those things kept you from walking through doors of opportunity that God's given to you? Well, here's a suggestion. Stop trying to go on your own strength, in your own knowledge, in your own attitude, whatever. And where God opens a door, and go through it and trust Him to provide strength. It's amazing what happens when God's in control instead of us. But that's pretty scary, isn't it? Because we don't know what's on the other side of that door. We don't know what that opportunity, it looks like an opportunity for ministry. We get in, and all of a sudden, we have to deal with people that we're not used to dealing with. This fellow over our way, he confessed he's an older gentleman now. But he said when he was a younger man, a friend had a child with some special needs, and Bob was so uncomfortable around him. You know what Bob does today? He participates in the special needs ministry of Buckmore Christian Church. He's their Bible teacher. And so he walked through a door of opportunity, and God provided. He loves those individuals. Now God blessed them with these opportunities in Philadelphia because of their total obedience. That's in verses 9 and 10. The synagogue of Satan was there. They were faithful in the face of adversity, a lot of adversity. They had the opportunity to deny their Lord. I mean, there's a lot of false doctrine there, a lot of false religion. Could have gone to one of those, been a lot easier, but they didn't. Ample opportunity to slack off on their commitment, but they didn't. They had the opportunity to risk everything for Christ, and they did. Our culture presents challenges to our faith. Not necessarily physical harm, although it has happened. We had a school shooting a few weeks ago. One of the first ones, Columbine. You heard the story that the shooter cornered a girl, so to speak, came out that she was a Christian, and because of that, he shot her. I don't know of any others, but probably more happening than we know about. More likely, there are threats to our job when the employer says you work Sunday or you don't have a job. We're isolated from the crowd or teased and taunted because of our faith. Doesn't matter what happens, Jesus still expects total obedience. And so I want to encourage you to hold on to your narrow view of God's Word. I heard a preacher one time said, they say I'm narrow-minded. He thought, I'm narrow as that book. That's narrow-minded I am. And that's a good way to be. Keep on inviting friends to hear the wonderful message of Christ. Keep yourself pure in the sight of God, even if it means sacrificing your pleasures. We always sing, where he leads, I'll follow. Follow all the way. Where he leads, I'll follow. Follow Jesus every day. I hope that's your attitude. Because if you do, there's eternal rewards waiting for you. Look again at verse 11. I am coming quickly. Hold fast what you have so that no one will take your crown. He who overcomes. See, the promises of the Bible is not for the quitter. It's for the overcomer. I'll make him a pillar in the temple of my God. I will not go out from him, and he will not go out from it anymore. I will write on him the name of my God, the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down out of heaven from my God, and my new name. And so a crown shows prominence, weak now, little strength, but strong for eternity. And the pillars of the temple of my God. Now, the pillars show permanence. And to the Philadelphia mind, they realized that the pillars were the last thing to fall during those earthquakes. And so you saw the picture earlier, and the pillars are still up, right? In that area. And so Jesus said he will make the Philadelphia church, and in turn us, a pillar that will stand forever. And as they wrote the name of their sons on those pillars, Jesus said he will write his name on us and give us an identity. The name of my God, the city of my God, and my new name. We'll talk about that name later down the road here a little bit. So what are you living for? Are you living for the here and now? Can I tell you something? You weren't built for the here and now. God built you for eternity. So you ought to be fostering that in your life. What do you seek? Do you seek the applause of man, which is very temporary? Or do you seek the applause of heaven, God's approval? The rewards are for the faithful. So what's all this tell us? A couple of major lessons. First of all, it's not necessary to be popular or powerful or prosperous to be effective in serving the Lord. You just have to be obedient. We don't have to be big in numbers. We don't have a large bank account or a huge social clout to serve God. We just need to be obedient. And the true sign of usefulness and the sign of success in God's book is dependence, obedience, and faithfulness. That's God's formula. Pretty different from man's formula for success, don't you think? And so we need to repent of living by our own strength and really turn to Him and find a strength unmatched, a strength for our soul. Several years ago, when our children, I think they were out of elementary school at this point, but their elementary school, they had like 4 of each grade. And out of all the teachers that they could have had and did have, only 2 did all 3 of our children have. Their 3rd grade teacher and their 4th grade teacher, they had the same teacher, all 3 children. Everybody else had different 1st grade teachers, different kindergarten teachers, different 2nd grade teachers, different 5th grade teachers. But 3rd and 4th grade, they had the same teacher, 2 years apart. And we started, Miss Tomkinson, their 3rd grade teacher, we kept up with her and became a friend of the family, and she'd been to our house and all that kind of stuff. And she realized she was missing something in her life. I said, well, we know from the Bible that we restore body, soul, and spirit. And she was, at that point, kind of a health nut. And she was healthy. She had the body part down. But she felt hungry in her soul. Long story short, we baptized her into Christ. And she's very involved in the church now. And got a Christmas card from her with her little girl. Good stuff. I say the same thing to you. Body, soul, and spirit. We spend a lot of time on the outward, don't we? And what's the Bible say about the things that we see? They're temporary. And the things we don't see, those are the things that are eternal. And so we better be spending time on the spiritual side of it, on the soul, because that's what lasts forever. Well, time's up.
Might be a message from God.
God say amen. Amen. Spend time with your spiritual side. Do not regret it. Is it going to be an easy road? Absolutely not. I mean, they killed our master. They killed the Savior. They crucified him. How can we expect different? Jesus said, in this world you will have trouble. You'll have difficulty. But don't worry about it. He said, I will overcome the world. So those that follow Jesus, truly follow Jesus. And we talked about that. Not a casual admirer of Jesus, but a completely committed follower of Christ.